If you have a nutsack and you eat food every day of your life, you need to watch this entire video because I'm about to reveal the secret to eating your way to insanely high testosterone levels. And having high testosterone levels is awesome. Every day you wake up and you feel like the world is yours to conquer. You have that energetic drive to work hard and crush your goals. You feel much more socially calibrated with your friends and way more confident with women. And it also makes losing body fat, building muscle, and getting stronger in the gym much easier. So in summary, life's pretty great when you're walking around with high testosterone levels. So in this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to increase your testosterone levels naturally, just by changing something that you already do every single day, and that's eat food. If you're new here, my name's Ben Richardson. I'm a personal trainer, a certified nutrition coach, and a chemical engineer. For years, I suffered from poor health and low testosterone levels from being fat, lazy, and overweight. And it wasn't until I went through a nasty breakup towards the end of my college years that I really started to finally get a grip on my life. So I'm here to share what I've learned since then with other men so that they can improve their health and increase testosterone naturally, just like I did. And I do post videos just like this one every single week, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe so that you're not missing out. Okay, let's dive in. Before we dive in, I just want to let you know that this video is pretty detailed and specific. So I'm not just going to tell you to eat raw oysters and stop eating bird food. I'm going to dive in deep and give you actionable steps to implement so that you have a game plan to follow. I also kind of just spilled the beans on a couple of them, but it's not a big deal. I know you'll stick around because you want to know how to reach godlike testosterone levels. The secret to naturally skyrocketing your testosterone levels lies in the foods that you put into your mouth every single day. That's probably pretty obvious to you though, so we're going to dive deep into this. We're going to talk about calories, macronutrients, what foods to eat, what foods to avoid, how alcohol impacts testosterone, and everything in between. So let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about calories first because it's pretty straightforward. How much food you eat is crucial to increasing your testosterone levels naturally, or at least keeping them as high as you can. If you need to lose weight and lose body fat, you gotta eat fewer calories. And if you need to build muscle and get stronger, you're gonna have to eat more calories. And these numbers are completely based around your maintenance calories. And you can get an estimate of your maintenance calories just by doing a quick Google search for a maintenance calorie calculator and punching in all the info that it needs. Now from here, you're either going to add or subtract calories from your daily intake to hit your goals. And you want to be careful not to focus on speed here though, because that's going to hinder or even lower testosterone production. So what I mean by that is if you cut your calories too hard, thinking you will reach your goal faster, your body's going to start to shut down reproductive functions because they're not necessarily essential for your survival. When you eat fewer calories, your body starts to kind of freak out a little bit, so you don't want to reduce your calories too much. And if you eat too many calories, your body will start to store that energy as body fat. And body fat percentage has an inverse relationship with testosterone levels, unless you start approaching insanely low body fat percentages below like 8%. I'd suggest subtracting 400 to 600 calories from your maintenance calories, and that'll keep your testosterone levels high while you lean down. And if you're trying to build muscle, I'd add anywhere between 200 to 400 calories to your maintenance calories. As far as macros and testosterone, I suggest you base things around your protein intake. You definitely need enough protein, but maybe not as much as you think if you've bought into all the dumb bro science of the internet. I feel like people are becoming more aware of the dumb bro tips that are out there, but let's talk about it anyway. You really only need about 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of your current body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, that's anywhere between 160 to 200 grams of protein. That's a good amount of protein, but that's also not an insane amount. You have to leave room for fats and carbs, even if you're cutting. So that's your protein intake. Keep that the same whether you're cutting or you're bulking. If you're cutting, I'd keep your fats between 25 to 35% of your macro split, and then fill the rest in with carbs. And if you're bulking, you can go maybe a little bit higher in fat, so maybe between 30 to 40%, and then fill the rest in with carbs. Also, do not cut carbs here. Yes, it is true that fat is great for testosterone, but carbs are going to fuel your training much more efficiently, and that's going to help you build muscle more easily and get stronger in the gym. So yeah, eat carbs so you can build muscle. When you build muscle and get stronger in the gym, that's going to boost your testosterone. It's like a feedback loop. Eating properly is going to help you get stronger, build muscle, and boost testosterone, and boosting testosterone is going to make it easier to get stronger and build muscle. Let's do a quick example of how to calculate everything. Calories and macronutrients. So we got big man on campus who weighs about 200 pounds, and let's say big man on campus needs to slim down a few pounds to get those abs popping for the summer. If I do a quick Google search on maintenance calorie calculator and punch in all the information, let's say he's 36 years old, he's 5'11", he weighs 200 pounds, and he's a dude. I know it might be kind of triggering for some in this day and age that this calorie calculator only gives 2 options for gender. You folks can feel free to go report the Mayo Clinic to the elders of the LGBTQIA community over this absolute travesty, but we're gonna select male here. And let's say big man on campus is active, he doesn't overtrain or anything, but he still goes hard in the gym for about an hour, 2 or 3 times per week. So his maintenance calories are about 2850 calories per day. Because big man on campus is trying to lean down, we're gonna take off 500 calories from his maintenance calories, so that's gonna give us 2350 calories. All right, cool, let's calculate his macros. He weighs 200 pounds, so he's gonna need to eat about 160 grams of protein per day, because 0.8 times 200 is 160. At this point, we need to figure out what percentage of his total calories this amount of protein is. Stick with me, we gotta do a little bit more math here, but I believe in you, you can do it. And if you can't do these basic calculations, then you should probably just go down to the link below in the pinned comments and apply for my coaching program. Because I'll just do all these calculations for you, and I'll drill you a new one to make sure that you stick to it every single day. I'll also make you a customized workout plan that you can follow based on where you're at on your fitness journey, but I can only take on so many clients because I'm only one dude, so I'd hop on that sooner than later because I know my limits pretty well by now. Alright, enough about my shameless plug. Back to this dude who's got to eat 160 grams of protein. Now there are 4 calories in 1 gram of protein, so we're going to multiply 160 by 4. That gives us 640 calories. See how I got that? If 1 gram of protein has 4 calories in it, then 160 grams of protein has 640 calories in it. We also know this chump's total calorie intake. Remember, it's 2350 calories while he's cutting, so we'll divide that number by the calories and all the protein, and that'll give us the percentage we're at. So 640 calories divided by 2350 calories equals 0.27 or 27%. We'll just round up and call it 30%. So remember how I said you want to make about 25 to 35% of your macro split fat if you're cutting? Well, 30% is now taken up by protein. So another 30% is going to go towards fat. Remember, big man could do 25%, 30%, or 35%. Doesn't make a huge difference, but homie needs some fat in his diet. So if 30% of his diet is protein and 30% of his diet is fat, that leaves 40% for carbs, which is a good number for carbs. It may seem high, but carbs are going to help this son of a biscuit turn into an absolute giga chad. Now, as far as what to eat, I'd encourage you to start adhering to a more whole foods based diet. Start eating more nutrient dense foods that are going to fuel your body to function well. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't ever enjoy non-whole foods every now and then, but I'd try to make the bulk of your diet whole foods. So I'd follow the 80-20 rule here. And I also have a whole playlist on good foods to eat to boost testosterone. Those are great videos to check out if you want to know what you should be eating specifically, but you really don't need to make this rocket science. Whole foods are foods that have very limited ingredients. An apple is an apple, a potato is a potato, a sirloin steak is a sirloin steak, an egg is an egg. It's not this concoction of heavily processed bioengineered ingredients of enriched flours, industrial wheat, soybean oil, corn syrup, thickening agents, and artificial sweeteners. If the ingredients list is a paragraph of words that you can't pronounce, then I wouldn't eat it. Stick to fresh produce. Now, if you're gonna complain about how expensive it is to buy healthy food, an excuse that absolutely drives me up the wall, then I have a few suggestions for you. Number 1 is to go watch my video on cheap foods that boost testosterone. You cannot use money as an excuse to not eat healthy. I don't care how little little money you make. I don't care how many kids you have to provide for. I don't care if you're a broke college kid student. It's a lame excuse for you to not pay attention to what you put into your mouth. And it's excuses like that that are going to hold you back in life. So stop being a little baby, take a little ownership, and commit to doing whatever it takes to fix yourself. Okay, so that was my little rant, and it's over. You can tell I get pretty riled up when that excuse gets thrown on the table. I have zero patience or tolerance for it. It's literally worse than I don't have time. All right, another thing that you can do if you allegedly can't afford to eat healthy is to stop eating out so much. If you're really so broke, then buy your own groceries and make your own food. Stop paying other people to do it for you. If you drink alcohol, stop drinking. Alcohol is not only unhealthy for you, but it's also expensive. If you go out to eat 2 or more times per week and you drink alcohol at least once per week, you have no excuse. If you're so broke that you can't afford to buy organic potatoes instead of Lay's potato chips, then cut out the truly unnecessary things first. You especially have no excuse if you go out to eat and you order alcohol. Alcohol is so expensive at restaurants. You can easily double your bill by having a few beers with your dinner at a restaurant. That $50 you spent on that one meal could have fed you for several days if you'd spend it at a grocery store instead. Dude, this literally makes me want to start talking about basic personal finances. This is super basic stuff. It's not even so much about health as it is financial management. People use money as an excuse because they don't know how to use money wisely. Okay, let's get back to talking about eating food. Another thing that you can do is to eat the same meals over and over and over again. Alex Hormozy talks about how most people base their diets around about 10 meals. So if you change what those 10 meals look like, you will successfully lose weight, build muscle, or both, whatever your goal is. Now, you really don't need to be a maniac about tracking your calories like me. I track my calories pretty religiously, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I'm a chemical engineer, so I just kind of have one of those numbers brain. But you should know whether you're eating 1,500 calories or 2,500 calories in a given day. So what you can do is calculate the calories in each of those 10 meals that most of your diet is based on, and that makes getting lean pretty darn easy. And if you just stick with those meals that you know are relatively low in calories, you're golden. All right, the next thing I talk about is only for the elite few of you who decided to make it this far in the video. Congratulations, because you made it past the point all the other beta males didn't have the attention span to make it this far, and you are going to be rewarded. The single most important thing that you can do with your eating to increase your testosterone levels is to fix any underlying micronutrient deficiencies that you might have. I'm going to share some micronutrient deficiency statistics real quick, but I want you to keep in mind that these stats come from the nutrition standards of the United States, or the RDA, which is already a flawed system of measuring daily nutrient intake. So not only are people deficient in these micronutrients, they're deficient according to an already bad standard of measuring nutrient deficiency. So what we've got ourselves is a classic double whammy going on here. Here we go. 86% of people are deficient in vitamin E, 73% of people are deficient in calcium, 68% of people are deficient in magnesium, 55% vitamin A, 48% vitamin C, 42% zinc, and 34% iron. And a couple of other odd man out micronutrients that no one really seems to pay attention to or talk about, and they're kind of just forgotten about, are choline and selenium. Both of these are crucial micronutrients to achieve and keep high testosterone levels, and 90% of people are deficient in choline, and 15% are deficient in selenium. Now remember what I said. This is according to the government's recommendations, which is a super broad and generic recommendation, but look at how many there still are. So yes, statistically, you probably have at least one or even several micronutrient deficiencies. Get them fixed. When your body has all the resources it needs to run efficiently, you'll be in exceptional health. I'll give you 2 good ways to do this. One pretty good way is to just take a high quality multivitamin for a few months. And please don't just go to Walmart and get a $10 bottle of some gummy bear multivitamins and think that that's going to solve your problem here. Do some research and find a good quality multivitamin. Thorne Research makes a pretty good one. I've used their 2 per day daily multivitamin before and it worked gangbusters. Thorne Research bases their products on human studies and chooses ingredients based on optimal bioavailability, and both of those are crucial aspects of the efficacy of a multivitamin. Do you think Walmart's out there doing that? No. They're definitely not. I'd even caution you against doing generic searches on Amazon. Don't just look up the most bought, top-rated one. Do some digging on the company that makes the product. Go look at their website and see what the company is all about. See if they even have a website. If they don't even have a website, that's a pretty good indicator of the legitimacy of their product. So besides multivitamins, I'd also suggest that you start to eat more fruit. That's not very difficult. Fruit tastes awesome. Having several servings of fruit per day is an easy and delicious way to get more micronutrients into your diet. You don't have to be a freak like me and mix up a protein fruit smoothie for lunch, drink some orange juice with your dinner, drink some pomegranate juice with your pre-workout, eat an apple when you get home from work, and then have a few servings of grapes before bed. But having a few servings of fruit each day is a good way to get more micronutrients. Some other micronutrient-rich foods include things like oysters, liver, beef, yogurt, carrots, potatoes, mushrooms, eggs, avocados, coconut oil, and raw honey. Notice how I'm not sitting here listing off a bunch of freaking rabbit food. You don't need to be eating leafy greens and freaking miniature trees to get in more micronutrients. Broccoli is gross, cauliflower is nasty, kale is disgusting, lettuce literally just tastes like crunchy grass, and spinach tastes like paper. Absolutely ridiculous how people eat that filth. But anyways, fix your micronutrient deficiencies. Getting some blood work done is a good thing to do as well. It can also be kind of a hassle and it can even be expensive. So I don't blame you if you don't really feel like doing this. Sometimes insurance covers it though, so if that's the case, it's definitely worth having that data. But taking a multivitamin for a few months and eating better foods that actually have nutrients in them, that should help you cover most of your bases here. If you're still not feeling like $1,000,000 in 3 to 4 months, then I'd consider getting some blood work done and see if you can identify a specific micronutrient deficiency and correct it from there. So there you have it. These are the secrets to eating your way to insanely high testosterone levels. You can dive into each one of these topics pretty deeply, but that's precisely what I do here on my channel. So if you're interested in learning more about all these topics, go ahead and subscribe because that's what I'm here for. And turn the notification bells on too so that you're not missing out on any of my latest content. But that's all for this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I always love hearing from you guys. And it also kind of gives me an idea of future topics that I can talk about as well. If you made it to the end, I do appreciate the support, and I hope you got a ton out of this video too. Good luck in all of your endeavors to boost your testosterone. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.